Hello everybody, this is day 22, 23, I lose count of lockdown, but anyway, I thought I'd show you how to do a little bit of, we're going to be fitting wax sheets into our super frames as well as our brood, and everything's pretty much the same, similar. Just take a look at all my different colors of wax over the years. I've accumulated it. I've got all as far as it becoming very light, and I think wax, it depends on the source, if it was new wax or virgin wax, or whether it's been used in the brood chamber or not. And the bees, basically, they'll work it either way if it's real. Okay, they'll even work that other stuff which we shouldn't mention, but anyway. So what I've got is I had a little bit of a challenge, because my wax sheets were brood sheets, okay, and a brood sheet, I thought, hey, great, I could cut it in half and install it here. And unfortunately, you're always going to have about a centimeter short, and this is an example of that centimeter short if I did two halves. And the bees, I don't know why, they don't have a union, so they decide no, they're not going to actually fill that with honey. They're actually going to use this as a walkway. So in order to do away with that, because you're losing storage space, that actually could come away around this way, you're losing storage space by actually not filling it up all the way to the edge. So we measured it up, and most brood sheets are about 20 centimeters. And we're looking for about 10 and a half for actually filling up our actual super frame. So we designed a little bit of a template, and we decided we've got 1 centimeter that we've got to get extra out of. And we came along, and we've actually just stenciled in the template, and we actually now can fit this into the groove with these long edges over here. These long edges now fit into the groove, and you can push it down, and you're now going to get your full flush with the base. Otherwise, they're going to actually want to use it as things. They will more than likely fill this up over here, but you can see here now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half joining spots, and these areas are what we'll do, is where we'll put our wax, and we can do that. Now I'm going to flip it on its edge. This is when we come to embedding our wax. I've got a 12-volt transformer. You can actually use a 12-volt battery if you've got one of those ones in your alarm system. You can even use one of those. You know, about so thick, 20 centimeters underneath the wax, putting pressure up against the wax. And I'm gently going to be just doing that like that. I'm getting a couple of sparks here at the sides. Actually, let me do it this way so you guys can see it. And I can just do, already you can see that this has become embedded inside over here. So all I need to do now is go onto this side, and I'm going to just create a bit of reaction on this side, and you'll see it start to melt all the way along here. You just do it a couple of times. If you do it too long and too hard, it's going to melt all the way through, and it's not going to embed properly. So, and there we go, we've got it basically embedded there, nice and easy, and it looks fairly good. The resistances, it's got it embedded into the wax. Another thing that sometimes happens is you're in a hurry, and you've embodied it, but you're needing to actually just put in a strip or anything to that effect, but you don't have the wax. You don't want to get out your melted and everything. A matchstick will fit into the groove, so you're just going to push it in there with your nail, just bend it down. It's going to put enough pressure onto the wax to hold it in place, just like that. Also, the bees are going to seal it up anyway, so you're going to do it on the opposite side, every alternate one either side, all the way along. And I've used this a couple of times just to get out. So now there's so many different ways in which you can pour wax into this over here. So when the bees get it, they're going to be able to walk in and out, which actually helps them out if they're a very small swarm, especially in the brood. You don't really want to isolate the bees and put a full sheet in between the broods. If on a new swarm, they'd like to have a little bit of space. So if you can give them that little bit of space, it gives them a little walkway, and then they can communicate with each other. But for the super, I'm wanting to now just seal it off here. There's so many ways. You can have a tub and just pour wax in. Some guys have a jug that's continuously melted and just pouring it into the groove. But because we only have to do half, I actually find a soldering iron works really well, and it just melts, and then as it goes through into the groove, it's just going to secure it there in place. I can just go along there like that, and all the melted wax is just going to coagulate and go in onto the thing, and it's going to secure it in place. Also, because the wires are embedded, we're not going to really worry about it because it's also going to have that additional structure and support. Okay, and there you have it. Okay, use it, don't use it. Cheers, let's go have a beer.